Potential railroad strike set for early December could have a bit of a Grinch-like impact on the holiday season. CBS reporter Skylar Henry joining us live now from Washington, D.C. with the actions that the White House and lawmakers are taking. Skylar.
Hey there, good to see you. Well, congressional leadership met with President Biden earlier today at the White House to talk about what's left on their legislative agenda before the year comes to a close. On the top of that list, passing legislation that would prevent this national rail strike, especially given its impact on the U.S. economy.
President Biden hosted congressional leaders at the White House Tuesday, calling on them to move quickly to block railroad unions from going on strike.
Congress, I think, has to act to prevent it. It's not an easy call, but I think we have to do it. The economy's at risk.
The White House helped negotiate a new contract between rail companies and workers, but 4 of the 12 unions rejected the deal, setting up a potential strike on December 9th. Congress can stop it by passing legislation to force them to work.
I don't like going against the ability of unions to strike, but weighing the equities, we must avoid a strike.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says there will be a bill on the House floor Wednesday morning. It appears Republicans will reluctantly support the measure.
I think it will pass, but it's unfortunate that this is how we're running our economy today. If you're passing a bill to force the rail workers to work, how strong is your economy?
Industry leaders say a rail strike would strain supply chains, leading to shortages of some goods and fan inflation, costing Americans money.
Shutting down our rail system, even for one day, would have significant impact on U.S. gasoline supply and could lead to higher prices for American consumers and businesses ahead of the holiday season.
Nearly 30% of all U.S. goods are shipped on railways.
Now, Skylar, realistically, if this bill does not pass and the rail strike does happen, what is at stake here for the average person?
Well, the U.S. economy would simply take a huge hit. For starters, more than 700,000 workers would be impacted. Some wouldn't go to work for about 2 weeks or so, and that includes union workers. After that, let's start to talk about some of the national supply chain issues that would be impacted, everything from the national coal shipment across the country to purified drinking water to passenger rail service, and those holiday shipping goods, presents and the like will all be impacted if that were to happen. It's why the president, it's why congressional leadership is adamant about getting something done. We talked about it in the piece. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi introducing legislation tomorrow morning to try to get this done before December 9th, when rail workers are proposing that strike.
Yeah, and we all know how tough supply chain issues can be. We've been dealing with them for about a year. Things finally work out, and here we are again. We'll keep an eye on it. Thanks for that, Skylar.
I still think I can sell the car myself.
First thing foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noah's in this gospel, bro, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. As you heard, the potential rail strike, Congress is in definite act to pass legislation in order to force these workers to not shut down and actually to work for these particular rail lines, which that equates for 30% of the transport that you're seeing being brought in and out of these particular shipment centers. With that being said, you know, you're going to have a lot of adversity with that, because for the simple fact, you can't force people to work, okay? Because even if you pass a bill stating that they must work, they just don't have to show up. Okay, if they're not going to get paid for it, they're not getting the prevailing wage or whatever it is that they do, they just don't have to show up. And regardless, your transports and your supply systems are going to go down. You see what I'm saying? And this is all coming in a time of the holiday weekend, or the Christmas holiday and the New Year's Eve holiday, which everybody and their mother is going to go around and celebrate and conjure up this type of manifesto for the 2023 year of fortune and the year of prosperity, according to people, you know. But the scripture says different, okay? The scriptures tell us about dark and perilous times ahead, and we must prepare ourselves and our minds and our spirits to undergo this particular tribulation, because we're getting ready to be put through the ringer, and brothers are going through hell right now because, hey, the scriptures say you got to be counted worthy to stand before the Son of Man. So, hey, with this economy collapsing, hey, brothers are getting ready to lose jobs, homes, careers, money, savings, businesses, family members, wives, or whatever. Because, when it comes with financial turmoil, you can understand that relationships, and particular domestic partnerships, they oftentimes hit a rock bottom, so to speak, because for the simple fact, everybody's here is pretty superficial. But I'm asking, honestly speaking, how can you stop people from working? Like, how can you force people to work? Are you gonna go to their door to door, put a gun in their face, and say, well, hey, you need to go to work? No, okay, because you're gonna ask for the biggest civil war and revolt in history, which that's coming to. All right. But overall, through the Spirit, this is the Lord making moves, man. And I pray that this does happen. OK, because let's just say if the railroads do shut down, then you got the trucking industry, which makes up 75% of the supply chain as to distributing these products to these particular stores and distribution centers. Are they going to pick up the slack? Hell no, because I don't see truck drivers driving trains, OK, or risking the time and money and gas, especially you private owned rig truck drivers, of taking up another 30% without any type of back pay or any type of pay or an incentive with that. Now, they may give you a particular raise or they may promise you particular incentives, but even then, when Esau comes forward with that particular package, where is he going to get it from? Okay, he's got to do other things in order to heighten the economy, and he's got to print more money, which is going to put the economy in a more state of deflation or inflation, Salakia, and then everybody's bills are going to go up. Shit, we're already seeing price hikes on energy prices, so it's not looking too good for Babylon the Great. And call Allah Yahweh Shem Yahushua. I pray this happens, man, because honestly, I'm tired of this place. We're ready to get on with it. We're ready to see what brothers' integrity is at. We want to know what we measure up in the spirit and if we're really about this thing or not, man, because the biggest thing and the biggest antsiness about this thing is the anticipation part. Have you been putting in? Do you have what it takes? Have your works been solidified and proven and tried enough through the Spirit to withstand this evil day? Because they're going to throw the kitchen sink at us, man. Okay, and we have to be prepared and ready mentally. And I don't think a lot of Satan. Let me make sure I'm still recording. Hold on. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. And I don't think a lot of guys in this thing really understand the full gravity of what they're involved in, man. I just don't understand. I don't think they fully understand the gravity of. Okay, we good. I don't think they understand the full gravity of what they're involved in and what comes with this thing, man. Because this thing, the scriptures say that you have not resisted unto blood. Because it's going to come to the point that there's going to be bloodshed and the threat of lives, man, if we don't cop out to this man's system. But we got to be grounded and rooted in this thing, man, because, hey, brothers are turning up in the spirit. They're getting more serious, man. This is not the time to doubt and question, but if you've been slacking, then you will have had doubts. So the time to pick up the slack is now. Like the scriptures say in Ephesians 6, do everything and have done everything to stand before the Son of Man, or in the evil day, roughly paraphrasing. Okay, so we're fastly approaching that day. We're already in it. We just got to pray to the Lord that he have mercy on us, man, because we just don't know. All right, so this is the book of 2 Ezra 6, and I'm going to start at verses 22. It says, and suddenly should the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouse should certainly be found empty. Okay, those are the stores, your markets, man, your supply chains. It says to suddenly be found empty because, once the railroad strikes commence, then the trucking strikes and so forth, then the diesel shortages are going to kick in. Then before you know it, people are going to have panic attacks. They're going to panic buy. They're going to hog up on gas, fuel, diesel, hoard it. And then before you know it, at your local gas stations, you're going to have riots. People are going to be fighting each other. People are going to be killing each other for the one of all things. Just take one snap of a finger. One particular event can spark this whole civil unrest, this whole economy going into straight up anarchy. Okay. And it says that a trumpet should give a sound, which when every man hear it, they should suddenly be afraid. And this is part of the trumpet that's being blown. Okay. You're hearing about these supply chain shortages, man, These restaurants are closing down. The jobs, people being laid off. Inflation, which is a big one. You heard it from Biden's mouth himself. Biden even said it. He said, look, we need this. He said, because if not, then it's not good for the American economy. Because he knows it's through. Okay, so you look Christmas, you look New Year's Eve. Hey, you could probably kiss that goodbye. Well, I can say live it up while you can. Because, hey, sooner than later, hey, how about Shimi Hawashai? He's going to pull a plug on this place. And it says here, at that time shall friends fight one another against another like enemies, and the earth should stand in fear with those that dwell therein, and the springs of the fountain should stand still, and in 3 hours they should not run. Okay, and that's the point. They're going to shut this market completely down. So we'll see. December 9th, that's a calendar check mark, because what are the chances that come 4 days before the alleged CBDC rolled out? You know? And it says, and whosoever remaining from all these things that I have told thee should escape and see my salvation at the end of your world. Okay? And that's the point. So hopefully we're found worthy to stand before Yahweh Shimi Hawashai, because this man, he's going down. He's going down fast, brothers. Very, very fast and soon. Like the Lord said, I beheld Satan fall from heaven as lightning. And when you see lightning, it's swift. It's literally like faster than the speed of light. You flick on a light switch, it's instant. That's how quick lightning is. So he's up in power 1 minute, he's down the next. All right, one last precept here. This is Jeremiah 51, and I'm going to start at verses 8. It says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed, but howl for her and take balm for our pain, if so she may be healed. Okay, balm is like, I always like to say, an antiseptic. Like, I used to use the term Neosporin. Get a paper cut, you put some Neosporin or some antiseptic on, you clean the infection, or you clean the wound so it don't get affected. That way it can heal properly. But there's no healing for this place, because she's been dealt an incurable blow by Yahweh Shimi Hawashai. And it says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country. For our judgment reaching into heavens, and she is lifting up even into the skies, man. Okay? So that's the point. So it's a done deal, man. So I'm going to end it there, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Shimi Hawashai. And with that, shalom and the ball. Shalom.